Hello and welcome to Elecspo, and oh my god, England are in the final of the European Championships. It was a 2-1 win over Denmark on Wednesday night that sealed our place in the final, setting up a tantalising tie with four-time World Cup winners, Italy. England have done it. They are on the brink. For the first time since 1966, they have reached a major final. The players have been fantastic. The managers made brave and bold calls at the right time, and it is all set to culminate with the final of Euro 2020 on Sunday night. But forget about Euro 2020. What about Euro 2024? Today I'm turning my attentions to the next tournament, and I want to see what England's squad might look like when the next Euros take place in Germany. And then as a little bonus, we'll see how they get on at the tournament too. So let's do it. My name's James, you're watching Elecspo, and this is England's squad at Euro 2024 according to Football Manager 2021. Let's go. Right, here we are a week before Euro 2024 starts in Germany. England have qualified for the tournament. Fear not, this isn't going to be a bust video where England fail to qualify. They are in the tournament, and on the face of it, not a lot has changed. Gareth Southgate is still the manager, Harry Kane still the skipper, Jordan Henderson still the vice captain, and the key player, despite what the Gammons think, is Raheem Sterling. The third best team in the world. I think we're fourth in reality, so that's pretty close. We've got a friendly coming up against Bosnia. Let's have a look at who England are going to be facing in the group stages. It'll be Serbia, Turkey and Poland. It's a group that England should win, but it's going to be tough. Turkey, probably the dark horses. Poland, probably still got Robert Lewandowski. You know, people talk about Poland every tournament and they always fail to deliver. And Serbia, they've got Alexander Mitrovic, so anything's possible. Will he get sent off? Will he score 10 goals? Who knows? But what I'm going to do is now, before we go into the tournament, let's have a look at England's squad. As we say, Gareth Southgate is still the manager, Kane still the skipper, Henderson still vice, Sterling still the key player. But who is in the 23-man squad? Obviously there'll be some big changes because it's not a 26-man squad, it's a 23-man squad, and obviously Asian players will not be there. But let's dive into it. Let's have a look at the squad. We'll sort it by positions, starting with the three goalkeepers. We've got Nick Pope, Dean Henderson and Aaron Ramsdale. That's quite different to what we've got in reality. That means Jordan Pickford, the England number one, is nowhere to be seen in 2024. Let's check Pickford out. I mean, you'd think by 2024 it's going to be between Henderson and Pickford. But on this simulation, Pickford doesn't even make the squad. 30 years old and he's got 36 caps for his country. But for Everton, he's been alright. Not exceptional, just alright. But clearly not good enough to keep him in the England squad. Nick Pope, I mean, if Pope had been fit, he would be in the squad right now. If Dean Henderson was fit, he would be in the squad right now. And there is Aaron Ramsdale, a player I don't quite get, but he's still a Sheffield United on this simulation. He's got 10 caps for England, and he's still a Premier League player as well. They haven't dropped into the Championship. As for Dean Henderson, it looks like he's going to be the England number one, 30 caps. He's now playing for Chelsea rather than Man United. Chelsea spent £61 million on him. He's just recorded 10 clean sheets for the Blues, and that is why he is the England number one, and why Jordan Pickford is nowhere to be seen. He's just sat at home listening to rave music, reliving the summer of 2018. Let's move on to the centre-backs now, and that's another position where we've got big change. The only centre-back who is carried on from Euro 2020 is Harry Maguire. Good old slabhead at 31 years old is still playing for England. 63 caps, pretty good throughout the whole simulation, but he is the only centre-back still in the squad. There is no Ben White, there is no Connor Cody, there's no Tyrone Mings, there isn't even a John Stones, which is a little bit surprising considering he's playing for PSG. 30 years old, 105 grand a week, but he hasn't played much. But when he has played, he's been pretty good. But the lack of football seems to have gone against John Stones, and that's why he isn't in the England squad. The other centre-backs, we've got Fikayo Tomori. Where's he playing right now in the simulation? He's at Tottenham, 27 caps for England. He didn't get a permanent move to AC Milan, but throughout the simulation, he hasn't played a lot of football. Why is Tomori in there and not John Stones? I mean, Fikayo Tomori went to the German second tier, for goodness sake. Elsewhere, we've got Axel Tuanzebe. That's another surprise. Football Manager really love Axel Tuanzebe. Even you would do simulations for the current Euros and Tuanzebe would be in there. In reality, he doesn't even get close to the Man United team. But in this simulation, he's actually been pretty good. So well done to him. Other centre-backs, Ben Godfrey, impressive youngster, one who nearly made the England squad for the Euros, missed out, probably just behind Ben White. There's no Connor Cody, I mean, that's not really a surprise. No Tyrone Mings either, not a surprise. The one name in there that I think is quite important for England is Joe Gomez. If Joe Gomez hadn't picked up that horrible injury, I think he would be in the England squad right now, and you could probably make a good case for him being a starter. But at Euro 2024, he is finally there for England. 36 caps for his country. For Liverpool, hasn't played a massive amount of football, but when he's played, he's been okay. So those are the centre-back options. We'll move on to the full-back, and I don't mean to alarm you, but England haven't picked 4 right-backs this time. There's no Kyle Walker, there is no Kieran Trippier. There is a Reece James, and there is a Trent Alexander-Arnold. However, a Trent Alexander-Arnold that in the most recent friendly played in front of the defence. Also as defenders, Jordan Henderson can play centre-back, I forgot to mention that. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, he is in the England squad. Obviously he's missed this tournament because of injury, but he's going to be a massive player in the years to come. For Liverpool, he has been absolutely sensational. And at Euro 2024, it should finally be the time for Trent to prove how good he can be on the grand stage, providing he didn't do it at the Qatar World Cup during Christmas. Obviously Reece James there as well. It'll be a great battle in the coming years between them. Who is going to be England's number 1 right back? Another option they've got at right back is James Justin. Although he appears to be the main left back. In terms of left backs, I mean, in reality we've got Chilwell and Luke Shaw. I mean, players that could be doing the job there for years. In 2024, they're nowhere to be seen. Instead, England have got Bukayo Saka, obviously of right wing fame at Euro 2020. Euro 2024, it looks like he's the backup left back behind James Justin, which is... I mean, is James Justin not right footed? He is. He's playing on the wrong side. I mean, he's a good left back, but surely England will have better options by then instead of playing someone out of position. But those are England's defensive options at Euro 2024. Into midfield, Jordan Henderson, at the grand old age of 33, playing for Sevilla now, getting himself a tan over in Spain instead of Liverpool. He is still an England international, and he's even scored an extra goal. He's got 2 goals now for his country as opposed to 1, which is good for him, I guess. 102 caps, and at 33, he is still playing for England. Declan Rice is still in the midfield, not a surprise, but there is no Calvin Phillips. Calvin Phillips has had a wonderful tournament, but he doesn't get in the England squad in Euro 2024. We'll have a look at where he is. It looks like injury has kept him out. He's going to be missing for the next couple of weeks, playing for Manchester City. I mean, he hasn't actually been very good for Manchester City. He also went to PSG. He was good at PSG, and then they stopped playing him in the second year. So I don't know what's happened to Calvin Phillips' career, but I suppose at least he'll always have Euro 2020 to reminisce about. Elsewhere in midfield, you've got Jude Bellingham, who's still only a child at this point, still only 20 years old. I mean, that is absolutely frightening. When Euro 2024 happens, Jude Bellingham will only be 20, and a fantastic 20-year-old at that. By that point, Jude Bellingham should be a starter for England. At Borussia Dortmund, I mean, he's already a star, and he's only going to get better. Big things to come from him for England in the coming years. Obviously, Phil Foden's still there, Mason Mount. Phil Foden actually playing as an out-and-out centre midfielder, which could be big for England in the coming years. Obviously, for Man City, no one plays on the left or on the right, but he's got the talent to play in the middle, and that's where England have got him in 2024. He's started the most recent friendly ahead of Mason Mount. Mason Mount's played 54 times for England, 210 grand a week at Chelsea. He's having a great time as well. He's hit double figures in the past 2 seasons for Chelsea. So him and Phil Foden will be having a great battle for a place in the middle. One player who's missed out in 2024, and Twitter will be going absolutely ballistic, is Jack Grealish. Jack Grealish is nowhere to be seen. He's still at Aston Villa in 2024. He's got 20 caps for his country. He can play deep, he can play in the hole, he can play on the left. And he's still been playing really well for Aston Villa. But it wasn't enough for him to make it into the Euro 2024 squad. And that might be at the expense of Curtis Jones, a man who's coming through the ranks at Liverpool. In 2024, he's got 4 caps for his country, and it looks like he's turning into a bit of a star at Anfield. I mean, look at those numbers. To be fair to him, that is better than what Jack Grealish was producing at Aston Villa. So based on this, it's no wonder Jones is in there ahead of Jack Grealish. I mean, Curtis Jones protects the ball brilliantly. He can play in that deep role, or he can play a bit more offensively, and he could be a wild card for England in the coming years. We're moving into the wide options now for England, and Raheem Sterling, 29 years old, 105 caps for his country. He's been absolutely vital at Euro 2020. There was a lot of pressure on his shoulders, but he has absolutely delivered. He's carried the weight of expectation on his shoulders from England fans, and he's been absolutely incredible. And in 2024, he is still a mainstay on the wing for England. But will Jadon Sancho be featuring more by then? I mean, considering he's playing for Man United now, I think his stock's only going to rise. That's happened on this simulation. He's joined Man United, playing brilliantly. By 2024, Jadon Sancho has got to be having a much bigger role. I mean, he's only started one game at the Euros. He did alright against Ukraine, but we haven't seen a lot of him. That's probably because of how well Bukayo Saka's done. But surely by 2024, Jadon Sancho has got to be probably one of England's best players. You've also got Marcus Rashford there. Obviously, he can still play out wide. Also plays through the middle. 80 caps for his country at the age of 26. That is an incredible tally. We haven't seen a lot of him at the Euros, but during the simulation, hitting double figures, doing brilliantly, going to be an England mainstay for years to come. And then strikers, of course, you've got the captain, Harry Kane, 63 goals in 90 appearances for England. But the surprise inclusion for me is Eddie Nketiah. Eddie Nketiah for England, 4 caps and 2 goals. He got the number 14 shirt at Arsenal, just like Thierry Henry. And to be fair to him, he's been banging them in. Double figures in his last couple of seasons, 16 Premier League goals in the build-up to the Euros. He could be a wildcard option for Gareth Southgate in Germany. So let's have a little run through the players who have missed out on the England squad in 2024 who were involved at Euro 2020. There's no Jordan Pickford, no Sam Johnston, no Kyle Walker, no Kieran Trippier, no Calvin Phillips, no Chilwell, no Shaw, no Grealish, no Calvert-Lewin, no John Stones, no Connor Cody, no Tyrone Mings, and no Ben White. But we've got a fresh crop of players. There's a lot of new faces here, but how will they do at Euro 2024? Let's simulate a month or so into the future. We'll go deep into the tournament. Let's see how it's going. How will the Three Lions get on at Euro 2024? Let's go. Okay, here we are, the 8th of July 2024. We are at the semi-final stages of Euro 2024, and that is exactly where England are. England have made it to the semi-finals. We'll have a look at the group stages, see how England got on. The Three Lions came top of their group. They absolutely romped it. They won every game to come, top of the pops. They beat Turkey, they beat Serbia, they beat Poland, and they made it through. Elsewhere in the tournament, there doesn't seem to have been many surprises. The one big surprise, is Norway. They qualify as the third best placed team in Group C, and they have made it to the semi-finals thanks to the brilliance of Erling Haaland. He's got 7 goals. He's the best player at the tournament so far, but will they go all the way? Let's have a look at England's route through the competition. In the second round, a big win against Portugal. They won 2-1. In fact, I'm going to click on England and have a look at the stats. You can see there, Dean Henderson, 4 clean sheets already. England have won every game at this tournament, and it's been quite a hard run. A 2-1 win over Portugal in the second round. Harry Kane and Curtis Jones with the goals, setting up a quarter-final tie with Italy, who will be playing in the final on Sunday. And yet again, it was that double act of Harry Kane and Curtis Jones, putting England into the semi-finals of the Euros. The semi-finals will be Germany versus Norway and Spain versus England. Let's have a look at the team England have been playing. In the quarterfinals, it was Dean Henderson in goal, Trent at right back, James Justin at left back, centre backs Joe Gomez and Declan Rice, a midfield three of Henderson, Foden and Bellingham, then Sterling, Jones and Harry Kane. Surprisingly, that means that Jadon Sancho, it doesn't even look like he's really featured at the tournament. First game against Serbia was brilliant, Trent playing brilliantly, Sterling, Kane, fantastic from all the boys. Jadon Sancho, he came off the bench against Poland. That looks like it's been his only appearance of the entire tournament. In 2024, Jadon Sancho still isn't clicking at international level. One man who is Jude Bellingham. He's been a consistent figure in the middle of the park alongside Phil Foden. What an exciting pairing that is. But will it take England to a major tournament victory? They're in the semis. How will they do? Will they make it all the way to the final like they've done in 2021? Let's simulate a few days into the future. Let's find out. Right, here we are a few days later, and England's Euro 2024 dream died in the semi-finals. While on Wednesday night they conquered it in extra time against Denmark, winning 2-1 thanks to a Harry Kane tap in. They were beaten by Spain in 120 minutes. Extra time goals from Pino and Ansu Fati sent Spain to the final and ended England's hopes of successive finals. I mean, I don't know what happened in the simulation in this game. We'll just pretend it was exactly the same as reality. But the final, both semis went to extra time. Norway beating the host Germany 3-2. What a game that was, to set up a final between Norway and Spain. And it was Norway, little old Norway, winning the Euros. Erling Haaland has done it. Erling Haaland, Martin Odegaard, Sander Berge, an incredible crop of Norwegian players coming through, and they have won Euro 2024. Ignore the fact that Austria won it in 2021. Let's say it was England or Italy. As for England, beaten in the semi-finals, and unfortunately that has meant the end of the road for Gareth Southgate. Gareth Southgate has quit as England manager. Jordan Henderson looks to have retired because Raheem Sterling is now the vice captain. England in 2024 are looking for a new manager, a crossroads moment for the England job. Gareth Southgate's been brilliantly for England. World Cup semis, Euros final. In 2024 he made the semis, but he has eventually quit as England manager. So in 2024, some very interesting names, a very different squad, but a lot of the young stars still there, the likes of Foden, Bellingham and Sancho. They're still coming through, coming in at the peak, except for Sancho, ignore him. England, they made it to the semis. They've gone deep into another major tournament, but in the semi-finals it all came crashing down, and now Gareth Southgate has quit as England manager. We will leave it there. That is England at Euro 2024. How will they get on in the final on Sunday? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Is football coming home? Come on England, you can do it. But we will leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to Elecspo. And until next time, we will see you around.